Baroness Fox of Buckley.
My Lords, to quote the statement, I would like to reassure everyone that our schools have not suddenly become unsafe, but limiting the numbers of people who attend them is essential when COVID rates are rising. So to say, schools have not suddenly become safe, it's about limiting numbers. So some rather imaginative, frustrated and demoralised sixth formers I know have a suggestion for you, which is that they would happily meet in limited numbers if you requisitioned a whole range of buildings that are lying fallow in this lockdown, and you mobilised a volunteer army of ex-teachers and heads and any number of members of the community who are willing to help, to allow them to study in hotels, hospitality areas, wherever, so that they could have face-to-face teaching and then be able to do their exams. As this, no matter how much you get Ofsted involved, you will not improve the quality of online teaching. Ofsted could be all over this house and it would still be able to notice that it's sterile to have a hybrid form of debate. It is sterile to have online teaching, no matter how much Ofsted inspects it. And just a quick final question. Early years remains open, which is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. But therefore, the primary school pupils, 4, 5, 6, 7, why can't they go to school as well, even in small clusters in a similar way? Because surely the science doesn't stop at 3 or 4. What basis is there for keeping early years open? I don't want to close it, by the way, that's not the conclusion. In other words, you reassure us that it's safe, then find imaginative ways of making it safe for face-to-face teaching to carry on.
My Lords, it is an ingenious suggestion, and I'm grateful to the noble lady for giving me advance notice of it. However, it is one of those things that's easier said than done, and also it is very difficult to expect schools to be operating, even in small groups, over multiple sites. There are issues with health and safety, etc., in terms of that, and the logistics literally of running provision. You're not just running remote provision now, you're running your school over a number of geographical sites, and it is easier, even though it is not the same as face-to-face teaching, it is easier at that age for them to be engaging online in relation to that. In terms of the evidence base, it is the evidence is that early years, the level of the disease in that group of the population is the lowest of all the age groups in the population. Therefore, the decision was made on that basis that they can stay open, and for the other reasons I've outlined, that you can't deliver, we're at the other end of the age spectrum here, you can't deliver that kind of education remotely at all for that age group. So the decision was made to, and in terms of numbers, to limit the primary schools as well, which will be small clusters of vulnerable children and children of critical workers. And in relation to the online provision, I'll just refer back to that, the FE colleges in particular have made a really good job of moving their provision online. So at that age group, we think that online is the best option at the moment on the public health advice.